The following is a presentation of UFF Sports and the Ultimate Fantasy Sports Network. We wrap up Week 6 in the American Football Legends League in the Monday night main event. It's an intriguing showdown between two stacked rosters. The Throwbacks boast the league's top running back from a week ago in Barry Sanders, while the Immortals counter with the latest #1 quarterback performer in Brett Favre. This primetime slugfest starts right now. It's the Throwbacks versus the Immortals, only on the AFLL Game of the Week. Welcome, everybody, to Week 6 in the American Football Legends League. We're wrapping it up, of course, with the Game of the Week. I'm Andy McNamara alongside Dan Esposito. Dan, we got a good one today. The Throwbacks heading in to Immortals territory to see those two. Terry Bradshaw versus Brett Favre. That should be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think today's game, the matchup looks pretty good at most positions, but I feel like there's one position out there that's a little bit stronger with one team.
Oh, okay. And I think you're going with the Immortals and team captain Jerry Rice starting that one, right?
Possibly. Should we get into my expose? Are we ready my keys to the game?
Let's do it. Let's find out what the specifics are that you think, Dan, need to happen for the Immortals and for the Throwbacks. Let's get to it.
Absolutely. So the expose, the keys to this game, it's going to come down to which quarterback can spread the ball around. Because I'm looking at the wide receiver core of the Immortals, and they have the two best wide receivers, in my opinion, to ever play the game, in obviously Jerry Rice and my favorite receiver of all time, Terrell Owens. Additionally, they have my second favorite receiver, the toughest receiver that may have ever lived, in Steve Smith and Jordy Nelson, who had a great game against the Heroes a few weeks ago. In addition to that, Shannon Sharpe lines up at tight end. He transformed the position forever, and you see a lot of the tight ends these days are basically molds of Shannon Sharpe. Now, the Throwbacks have Lance Allworth, Lynn Swann, Harold Carmichael lining up at wide receiver, and Keith Jackson at tight end, with the exception of Jackson, who I feel is very comparable to Shannon Sharpe. This wide receiver core doesn't match up as well. So can the Throwbacks rely on Barry Sanders to push them to victory? Maybe, but I just feel like the Immortals may have too much firepower, and the quarterback's going to be able to spread it around a little bit more, and that is my key to the game, and that is my expose.
Well, and Dan, what we've seen over the last few weeks, the first 2-3 weeks of the season, the running game was pretty much non-existent, but we've seen the last couple of weeks the running backs start to come on, including Barry Sanders, who you just mentioned, who was the top running back of Week 5, 140 total yards, had a couple touchdowns and 11 catches. So we're seeing teams integrate the running back a lot more and in different ways to make them more successful.
Sure. I just feel that the receiving core of the Immortals may open up the run a little bit better than for the Throwbacks, but we'll have to see what happens in the game. And you can never count a guy like Barry Sanders out. He can load up and put the whole team on his back. But we see what happened in Detroit. They had a lot of success, but not enough to get into the playoffs and win playoff games with Barry Sanders. So got to really rely on that receiving core to help Barry get some space.
Yeah, open it up a little bit. My halftime guest today, folks, since we're past the quarter mark, we're in the second quarter of the season, I thought we'd bring on Danny Jugan, the founder, programmer, developer of Access Football, the game that you're watching the game on, to give us updates of what's going to happen in next year's version, the additions, all the exciting come-ups for next year's Access Football. So make sure you stay tuned at halftime for that one. And Dan, you know what? That's enough talk, man. Let's get to it. Throwbacks and Immortals, Game of the Week. Welcome, everybody. Game of the Week to wrap up Week 6 in the American Football Legends League. I'm Andy McNamara alongside Dan Esposito. Let's go. The Immortals versus the Throwbacks. And Dan, it's a tale of two clubs that have had their ups and downs. Throwbacks at the top. of the Walter Camp division, and Immortals trying to climb back up. They've found some recent success.
Yeah, they got a reason to fight. They're really going to push for a victory today. And it could be that the team that wins the most sits back on a team that hasn't had as much success. So we'll see how they do today.
And the Throwbacks kicked off. Immortals receive, and you talked about that wide receiver core. My goodness, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Jordy Nelson, Shannon Sharp at tight end. Oh yeah, the running backs? How about little Gale Sayers and Tony Dorsett right behind Brett Favre? Not bad.
Not bad at all. Gale Sayers, shortened career. Once again, I think we talked about this before, but has continued his career in the Access Legends League. And he is, he's a guy that can find daylight. I think his quote was, "Give me 8 inches of daylight. That's all I need." And we'll see if his O-line can give it to him today.
And he got it straight away, and Gale Sayers sprinting through that right lane and tackled by Brazil for a nice little chunk gain to start the action here today. Actually, you know what, was pushed back. I thought he was pushed ahead a little bit there, Dan, but was actually forced backwards, wasn't given that forward progression. Questionable call by the official.
His knee might have been down. We couldn't see it too well.
Yeah.
We're way up here.
That's right. We got the spread formation. Defense for Throwbacks. Don't forget Willie McGinnis off the edge, Super Bowl champ. Not too bad either. And you got Jack Tatum back there in the secondary. Favre dropping back, waits, slings it to the left side, and it is complete to Jerry Rice. Team captain, and boy, all the records, Dan.
All the records. Not only all the records, but some really good stories to tell about his career in football coming up through Mississippi Valley State High School and obviously beyond. Can't wait to kind of inform our viewers of some of the really cool stories.
3-bunch set, 2nd and 1. Sayers in the backfield. Favre changing the play at the line. Little play action. Over the top. It is complete to Terrell Owens. Owens, he's sprinting. No one's going to catch him. 10, 5, touchdown Immortals. Terrell Owens.
Wow. Right off the bat. Terrell Owens played for the Philadelphia Eagles for a little while. I have a very strong feeling for this kind of receiver. He is literally my favorite receiver over Jerry Rice, over everyone else. I love this guy, and he came out firing on that first pass he had today.
Well, in a contested catch as well, one up against Lester Hayes and just plain old beat him. Morton Anderson's going to kick off here. But, Dan, this is coming off of Terrell Owens being the second best wide receiver in our top performers list. 12 catches, 296 yards for 4 tutties last week. He's off to another great start.
Yeah, he is the GOAT.
And now it's the Throwbacks' turn. So, okay, you had a hot, quick jump by Terrell Owens, and he was able to scamper into the end zone. What does Terry Bradshaw? Barry Sanders, you have Franco Harris, Lance Allworth, as you said, Lynn Swan, a stout offensive line, Bruce Matthews at left tackle. Out of the I formation, pitch to the right to Sanders. Sanders makes one man miss, not two, gain of 3. Gain of 4.
Yeah, I think we played against Bradshaw last week, and our defensive line was in his face about 5 times. Couldn't get him down. Strong quarterback in this league, doesn't get down easy. So that may serve him well today against a really strong defense.
Well, that defense, let's talk about it, Dan. Me and Joe Green on the line, Deacon Jones, Buchanan, Nomalini, linebackers, Junior Seau, Kevin Green, Chuck Benerick, my goodness. And there's Keith Jackson with a rumble on his own, getting into Immortals territory. Keith Jackson bursting down that sideline.
Yeah, Keith Jackson, once again, another Eagle, another guy I have a lot of affinity for. He is, I think, maybe one of the most underrated tight ends to play in the NFL. Should be in the Hall of Fame.
He's been one of the key targets for Bradshaw this season and is again there. And past the diving linebacker, Keith Jackson to the 15. The passing game is hot for this game of the week.
Yeah, it's a tight end a lot of people seem to forget when we talk about the greatest of all time. The college football All-American, 2 years. He actually was named the Offensive Player of the Century for University of Oklahoma.
Century? Wow. Into the
end
zone, touchdown. Keith Jackson with the touchdown.
There he is.
Wow. Yeah. Of the century, Dan. That's a lot of great players.
And there are a lot of great players at University of Oklahoma, Barry Sanders included.
Wow. So Keith Jackson, hey, I put another little trophy on that mantle with that touchdown. We are all tied up at 7. These offenses are on fire. Mosley is kicking it off, and we'll see how the Immortals respond.
Yeah, interesting fact about Mark Mosley, the only kicker to be named the MVP of the league.
Was that a slow year? I know Mosley's great, but that takes some doing.
Yeah, he's scored. He's also the head of the NFL alumni down in Washington.
Is he? Oh, geez, keeping in the game, keeping involved.
And he also is the founder of Five Guys. I don't know that many people know that. He's part of the founding group of the Five Guys burger franchise.
Is he?
Yeah.
Of Five Guys. It's a good burger.
Five Guys.
Yep.
That's a great burger.
Hey, Five Guys advertisement look great along those sideline boards here. Brett Favre drops back.
They look good.
Going deep, over the top, shoulder catch, Sharp brings it down on the right side. Worley with the tackle.
Wow, tight ends are having a big quarter so far. I think 2 or 3 really big passes to the tight ends. Seems to be a really good matchup in this league is the tight ends versus everyone. So if you can get your tight end freed up, you're going to, I think, have a lot of victories in this league.
I'm with you. And the defense, not a lot of pressure getting to either quarterback. Handing off to Gale Sari. Busts up the middle, but gets absolutely crunched.
Demolished.
Jack Ham.
Yes.
Wow.
Demolished. If that happens all game, Barry Sanders is in for a long day.
Yeah, he's not going to repeat his player of the week if that keeps happening. Dan, I'm just glad there's no injuries because that would have been a thorn, I think, everything after that hit. My goodness. 2nd and 9.
I mean, we have one player in this this team that actually paralyzed a guy in real life, so you never know if the injuries were turned on. We might have to lose a player from the digital world.
Ooh, boy, well, that luckily in Legends League, folks, AFLL never happens. This is football heaven, baby. Brett Favre with the play action. He looks, he waits. He's going deep again. He's pushing it, and it is. Is that caught? It's caught by Steve Smith. Usually out of the slot, Steve Smith stretching the field, beats Lester Hayes, and the Immortals are moving the chains again.
Both teams having some success with the long ball early today.
Yes, and another triple set on the left. Sayers in the backfield. He's going to Sayers, looking for that lane up the middle. Picks up about 3.
Yeah, I don't know who that was flying in there, but that was another decapitating shot that Sanders would have had.
That's right. Going back to that triple set to the left. We'll see what Brett Favre changing the play at the line. In the red zone. 2nd and 7. Immortals high-scoring team. Slow start to the season for this franchise, but they've really seemed to have gotten the hang and have listed off a few wins in a row now.
Yeah, I'd like to see their Y receiver do a cross, or maybe the X receiver do a cross here across the middle. I think they might find some openings here in this defense.
Favre taking a lot of time at that line play clock at 14. Defense standing pat. 7-step drop. Favre waits. Going into the end zone, and it is swatted away.
Yeah, it bunched up over there where there was a lot of defenders. You might want to come underneath here, clear out the linebackers. They may blitz here and get some pressure on Favre. Favre doesn't do really well under pressure, so if you can get a quick cross, might have some success.
He's not afraid to throw it into double, triple coverage. He's up at the top for touchdowns, and he is sacked right off the edge. Oh, Fred Dean blasts through the line past Tom Mack and into the face of Brett Favre. Those white unis looking dirtier now. Morton Anderson going for the field goal. It's up and good. 33-yarder, but what a burst through there.
Yeah, you hate to come away with 3 there when you're so close, but it's better to get 3 than 0.
Yeah, it's a good stop, too, for the Throwbacks defense. Coming up big, and let's see how they can respond here. Now down by 3 points. We saw 2 big plays from each club to really start this scoring drive for both teams. And now they'll have Terry Bradshaw back again.
Let's see how Terry distributes the ball this drive.
Yeah, Franco Harris in that backfield acting as the fullback to Barry Sanders for the most part.
Looks like the Immortals might blitz here. Take a look at their play selection. So see how Immortals respond to that play selection here.
That front seven
here
is
comes
ridiculous. Harris makes his man miss. Harris! Oh, Harris got by Mean Joe Green. He did a little high step over the arm and was able to get it near a first down. 2nd and 2 from the 33.
Yeah, it looked like that outside linebacker came out and blitzed, and on the blitz, they tossed that ball to Sanders right around. Was that Sanders on the run?
That was Franco Harris. They mixed it
Franco
up a little
Harris,
bit. That's Barry
yeah.
Sanders, and Barry Sanders will lose 5.
Yeah, it looks like if you can catch the defense blitzing and play a little bit into where they're blitzing from, you get that rushing linebacker off balance, and you might be able to get some yards.
It's all about that first miss, Dan, right? We see that so often in this league. If you get that first miss, you're going for chunk gains. Now out of the shotgun for Bradshaw. Got a little bit of time here. Open to the left. That's Keith Jackson again. Keith Jackson, first down. And they will be on their own 42. Let's see what the throwbacks come back with now. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 on the right. Sanders on the right hip of Bradshaw. 1 safety deep for the Immortals. Going to that right side. Lots of space. Sideline. Keith Jackson again. First down. First man miss. And he is crunched up by Emmett Thomas. And Keith Jackson moving the chains again.
Yeah. A little trivia here. Name the 3 teams that Keith Jackson played for.
Well, you said Eagles. I got to be out of it, Dan. I don't know. To the right, swatted away. Nice breakup by Eugene Robinson. Who were they?
After the Eagles, he signed for, I believe it was $5 million with the Miami Dolphins. And then after that, he played with a guy that is playing in this game today.
As Barry Sanders, he snuck out of the backfield right over the middle. A beautiful pitch and catch and run. Bradshaw to Sanders. And Dan, that's a play that the throwbacks might want to go back to. Sanders was left all alone and that linebacker core who were trying to blitz.
Yeah, I was watching some film of the Heroes yesterday, and I noticed that LaDainian Tomlinson, not running really well, but he factored really well in some of the passing game in a couple of my games. So that's something I think the players are going to want to, the coaches are going to want to look out for, is using those running backs as receivers as well as runners.
We saw Chuck Bednarik with the stop. 2nd and 12 from the 32 in Immortals territory. Again, out of the shotgun. Bradshaw has some time, surveys, looks, has a man open over the middle. He's going really deep over the middle. It's in the end zone, and it's a touchdown. It's a touchdown for Lynn Swan.
Lynn Swan,
Lynn Swan with the TD. Dan, we're going to take a look at that in another moment. I want to break this film down with you because we saw the short over the middle, and Bradshaw really just looked at it.
Yeah, he passed up a player that I thought was wide open to take a chance to Lynn Swan, but he's used to throwing to him, right? So he has a lot of confidence in him.
That's right, and the big boot kickoff back to the Immortals, and it is into the end zone. So now 14-10. So throwbacks held Immortals to a field goal after the touchdown, and have scored 2 majors themselves. Very interesting here. So as the Immortals start this drive with Brett Favre, of course, under center, I want to take a look back now, Dan, with that Lynn Swan touchdown. Let's take a look at break this down for us, because again, we saw the middle, but then Swan was real deep in the end zone.
Yeah, if you look here, we see the running back come right across the middle. He flashes real quick, but it looks like Bradshaw was already intent on getting that ball downfield to Swan.
That's well done. That's just well done there. And Lynn Swan through the double coverage had the other receiver crossing over, and actually the Immortals just that's how fast action happens in the AFL there. The Immortals got back on the board with a touchdown right away, so it will be that back and forth as we have Mark Mosley is going for a field goal after that quick series. That's a deep field goal too. That's long. It's back, and it is no good. A 67-yarder. Mosley falling to the ground in frustration.
Did you notice if there was any wind there? Because I'm going to take note of that. 67 yards might be the limit for the legs here.
67 is even for legends of all time.
It's a little far. Yeah.
That's a bit. That's a bit much.
Yeah.
So they give the 3, but hey, you know what? If they're confident in their defense, which I guess you have to be, because you give Immortals the ball right back at midfield after they had that quick strike TD and are now up by 3 points. 4:02 to go in the first.
Working with a shorter field than they would have to. You just need one completion here.
Wow, there's Jordy Nelson, man. Jordy Nelson beat the coverage. He beat Bob Jeter, and he rumbled into the end zone from the right, and Jordy Nelson with the huge score. Point after is good by Anderson, and the Immortals are starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, Jordy Nelson's one of those guys where you sometimes don't remember how fast he is. He is one of the fastest players in the league when he was playing. So to get back behind that cornerback is not surprising to me at all.
You're right, Dan. He was deceptively fast, because when you think Jordy Nelson, at least me, I think more possession. I think more of his hands, not the speed.
Yeah.
Allward running out of the end zone on the kickoff, rear kickoff return back to the 15. Trying to make a play, make it happen. Throwback with the ball. Under 4 minutes to play in the first.
So that last team that Keith Jackson played for was Green Bay Packers.
Okay, so who did he play with in this game?
He had Favre throwing to him back then. So, yeah.
Now on opposite sides.
Now, playing against each other.
That's right. Now we'll see if Terry Bradshaw out of the shotgun with Barry Sanders on his right hip can do something here. There's a flag on the play. It is incomplete to the left. What's the call? Ooh, Mike Webster with a hold.
Yeah, it's tough to hold to get those. Yeah, you got those defensive linemen screaming at you. Every once in a while, you're going to be out of position and hold one of those guys.
Well, especially, Dan, when you got Mean Joe Green, David Jones on that left side. Like, that's, I think we'd all hold a little bit there. The Deacon. And having to throw it away, Terry Bradshaw had that pressure right in his face, got rid of it. Now 2nd and 20 after the penalty from their own 5.
Yeah, and some more interesting facts about Keith Jackson, because I really think we forget about how great he was. He was a 4-time All-Pro, 3-time first team, 1-time second team All-Pro.
Certainly an underrated player and that player of the century for Oklahoma is incredible. Going for it all, and he brought it down.
There he is again.
He brought it down. Keith Jackson pinned, throwing it out of his own end zone for the first down, the long first down, 20-plus yards, and now the Throwbacks have a bit of room. Bradshaw under center. 2 wideouts left and right, and Sanders in the backfield. Ooh, and the pressure came, but he got rid of it, and Keith Jackson sniffed it past Eugene Robinson.
Stumbling, Keith Jackson.
To the 10, Dan, to the 10, Keith Jackson absolutely galloping through the contested catch. Did you see right over the top, that beautiful over-the-shoulder look?
Bradshaw had a blitzer coming in his face. He stood in there, set his feet, got that ball downfield, put it right in the hands of Jackson, and huge game for them.
Took that hit. Man. And now what can they do here? Barry Sanders with a juke to the right, picked up 1. As they're in the red zone, Mel Renfro with the tackle.
Yep. Mel Renfro is another guy who is just an amazing athlete. He actually played running back for the Cowboys before they decided to move him full-time to strong safety, and then eventually they moved him to cornerback.
What an athlete. Wow.
Yeah.
And he's buzzing around that secondary. Bradshaw some time over the middle. Sanders got a touchdown! Barry Sanders! And Dan, they went back to that over-the-middle play that worked earlier, and it paid off again. Sanders with the touchdown, and the Throwbacks will try to pull within 3 after this extra point. Yeah,
it's you live by the sword, die by the sword. If you're going to blitz, you sneak out that running back, and that's easy yards if you can get if you've got 1 or 2 linebackers blitzing. And in this league, you see a lot of blitzing because the defensive players seem to have a little bit of advantage over the offensive linemen.
Well, Dan, it really is in the AFL a game of just half seconds of inches, even less than that, where you'll see that blitz, and you clear out that linebacker core, and then all of a sudden you have Barry Sanders behind you, and that's it.
Yep. Yeah, so he might be getting a little frustrated with how he's running the ball so far in this first quarter, but he has been a major factor in the passing game.
Reigning running back of the week, Favre hands off to Gale Sayers. Sayers with 9 yards. Sayers with the plant and cut. A little shimmy shake, too, to pick up 9.
Yeah, really strong move right there to avoid that tackle.
2nd and inches from their own 35. See what they decide here. Favre pulling back to Sayers. Sayers just blew up. He just blew up. I'm not sure who that was. Was that... It might have been a linebacker.
It could have been Tatum. I'm not sure if it was Jack Tatum or not, but he flew in there like it was Jack Tatum.
Jeez. Gale Sayers. I wonder if they go back to the run here. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter.
Looks like audible to pass. Maybe they're trying to get Jerry Rice involved here a little more.
Jerry Rice lone wide out on the left, triplets to the right. Pass back, waits, goes to that right side, past the marker. It is complete to Terrell Owens. Move those chains. 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Reminder, folks, halftime guest Danny Jugan, founder, main developer of Access Football, on changes and upgrades to the game for next season. And Gale Sayers dropped for a loss of 4. Jeter on the tackle.
Yeah, just want to talk a little bit more about Renfro. There's some really, well, let's watch this play first, because there we go. Yeah, the interesting story about Mel Renfro is he had a game against Rice, and at the time, Rice Stadium was not an integrated stadium. He had such a good game at the end of that game that the entire stadium cheered for the opposing player, who prior to that time you couldn't be a viewer of football sports if you didn't have the right skin color. But the crowd stood up for him and cheered him on after having a magnificent game.
Amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice with the just gotten from boxed his way out. Maybe learned that a little bit from Shannon Sharp there. The little box out, got in front of Lester Sayers and was able to haul that in 3rd and 2. Now line up again here. You got Sayers in the backfield. 2 wideouts left. Terrell Owens, lone one. Yep, lone wideout on the right.
Changing the play for at least 3 of his receivers, or he's bluffing. Omaha. By the way, it's very interesting. Everyone
Rice with
doesn't know. Oh, there he goes. Finally, most people don't know what Peyton Manning was saying when he would say Omaha. But it was very easy to decipher, and I still hear that people don't know what he was doing. When he said Omaha, it meant you were snapping on the first count.
Oh, and
yeah.
And everybody who's playing, I guess, knew it, but he still... Whoa, Gale Sayers with 10. Look at the juke and jive by Gale Sayers. Cut to that left lane, planted, and went to the right.
Yeah. I don't know if they knew it, because I just remember hearing a few months ago that people still were confused about what he was doing there. Yeah.
It worked. And he's done a great job for the Fury in the AFLL. That's for sure. Going back to Sayers. Makes another man to Sayers. The running game coming alive for the Immortals today. Gale Sayers eating up that linebacker core of the Throwbacks.
Yeah, he had one guy to beat. Couldn't get past him, but got a really nice game there.
2nd and 3. Sayers, and he will. Oh, I thought he was going to walk into the end zone there, Dan. Stuffed at the 1.
He hesitated a little bit, cut inside, and I think he should have kept his trajectory a little bit to the outside and might have made the touchdown.
I'm with you, but they did get the first down, so 1st and goal, they will get at least 3 tries and probably 4 at this point. Throwback stacking up that defense out of the eye. Pitch to Sayers, and he is lost. Whoa.
Brazil on the blitz. Yeah.
They saw that one coming, Dan. They read it.
I think he was in that time if he didn't blitz. But good call, but a better call from the defense.
You got Jack Ham back there. Juana Conti as well. Under the eye again. Favre waits. Whoa, and Favre is taken down. Favre, Fred D with his second sack of the game. Pushing back that O-line.
Yep. Just because you're on the 1 yard line doesn't mean you're scoring. Is he going? Are they going to go for it here? Yeah.
It's 3rd and goal.
So it's only 3rd.
We got one more chance here, but at the 1 being pushed back. 10 yards now. Wow, at the throwbacks 11.
That's a tough spot here. Crossing route's not going to matter. You got to get everybody into the end zone unless you get someone in that right corner crossing.
It's touchdown or field goal. That's it. Those are your options. You score here or you kick it. Got the 2 safeties back for the throwbacks.
Yeah.
And Favre, empty backfield pressure coming, going, and it is swatted away. Beautiful break. If you saw Tatum and Hayes with the double coverage on Jerry Rice, and they guessed correctly, and it'll be going for 3 for Immortals.
Yeah. Jack Tatum, really tough guy to get a completion against. A tougher hitter called the Executioner, or the Assassin, I'm sorry. Not when he played, after he played, but the guy was one of the hardest hitters in the history of the NFL. Him and Brian Dawkins, just no regard for their body.
Well, and Dan, that's when you could really hit too, right? Where it wasn't so offense friendly when it came to penalties.
Yeah, but take it from a guy who broke his jaw from somebody's helmet. I like the new rules better.
Right. If you're an offensive player, you like the. If you're an offensive player, you like the new rules better. Right. Oh, that is a pain, Dan. I hope I never have to experience. I can only imagine. Did you have to have your jaw? Was it wired shut? Like, did you have to?
I broke my jaw on my first play in the NFL, and then I broke it again a year later when I got punched by a teammate in practice.
Oh man.
Yeah, no helmet on.
Jeez. But you can still talk really well. So credit to you.
No, well now I can. Yeah. I got a little bit of a droopy lip on the left side.
Oh boy, man.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my broadcast partner, folks. Tough as nails, Dan Esposito. All right, 27-21, 11:20 to go in the second quarter. Bradshaw with the sling. Carmichael with the reception.
Harold Carmichael. Yeah, Harold Carmichael, teammate of Mike Quick, who was on the Heroes squad. Had a really couple good games for me. One of the best possession receivers that I've got on my team. Actually, the best possession receiver on my team.
He's done an amazing job, Mike Quick. Yeah, for Heroes FC, absolutely. Keith Jackson with another catch, but it's short. 4th and 3 from the 32. And looks like Throwbacks will have to punt.
Before we get off the subject here about how tough I am, in that game where I broke my jaw in 2 places, first play of the second half, I continued to play the entire game with a broken jaw in 2 places.
Look at this guy. Really?
Yeah.
So was that just adrenaline? Nice return by Robinson, by the way.
Adrenaline or fear of getting cut? No, it's fear of getting cut. Actually, the interesting thing is it did not hurt that much. It hurt on the plane ride home, but yeah, it didn't hurt in the game. Yeah, it's just a bone, you know.
I can't imagine. All right, Immortals ball. Gale Sayers, first man missed. You see, if Junior Sale would have hit that tackle, injuries off or not, I think Gale Sayers might have been injured, but he made him miss and he made them pay, and he got a couple yards. 2nd and 8. Some ferocious hits in this league. There's a 4 wide out set, 3 on the right, 1 on the left. Lone man Jerry Rice, and he'll face Lester Sayers. We'll see if they get some extra help over to double coverage, like they prevented that touchdown on their previous possession. Under center Favre.
Looks like he's audible in.
At the Immortals, I think audible the most of any team in the league. And Favre just got it away.
Yeah, that backside blitz, the Throwbacks have used that quite a bit in these last couple plays here. So that's something he may want to adjust to and maybe get some passes past that blitzing linebacker there. But you can't go long. You got to go short.
That's it. You got to push him back a little bit, right? Out of the pistol, Sayers behind him. 3 bunch set left. And of course, don't forget about Shannon Sharp. Favre, just in time.
There we go.
Left past the first down marker, Terrell Owens, and he shoves off the defender once and steps out of bounds at the 35. What another
He's a strong
incredible catch and
receiver.
run. He is.
He drug one of my players about 15 yards when we played against these guys.
Just the guy was just on him, and he just kept moving.
He just kept going.
Wow. Same formation, Favre going back to it like what he did the last time. Why not? 27-21 Immortals.
No blitz.
And Steve Smith, left side. We saw Immortals in the first game of the week that they played in a few weeks back, Dan, that they really liked Immortals at Steve Smith to the left side, and they kept up with it all season.
That's that they kept throwing that same pass against me. I didn't get a lot to Jordy Nelson, a lot to Steve Smith.
Whoa!
Is that the...
Brett Favre and
Yeah.
Fred Dean again, Dan. Fred Dean, third sack of the game, doing a little baseball swing there. Baseball
Yeah.
sack, by the way, folks. That's good. Man, Fred Dean.
Looks like Favre have everybody going deep, and that's just not going to work when you got a guy blitzing. What you might want to do is hold the running back into to as an extra blocker.
Have some pass protection, yeah. Now out of the pistol.
Yeah.
Got the spread formation, 3rd and 12. And it'd be a long field goal if they miss this one, so we'll see what they can do. Favre doesn't hold anybody.
There we go.
Has the space, though. There's the sideline. It is incomplete. Looking Jerry Rice. But Jack Tatum
Just
hustled
over
over.
his hands.
Just over.
Yeah.
They
With
will
Favre
kick-
has pressure, you'll notice that he's not on target as much as when he's got a little time. When he's got some time, he is magic.
Morton Anderson with the 55-yarder. It is good. And 30-21 for the Immortals. See how the Throwbacks respond. Been a nice little back and forth in this first half so far, Dan.
Yeah, it's a great game. 8 minutes left in this half. We'll see if it keeps going this way or if somebody kind of pulls ahead a little bit.
And that's what I love about this league, because you're never truly out of it. Even if the score seems a little ridiculous, we've seen teams just score in bunches and have like 40-point fourth quarters. Like, it's you yourself. You had a 28-point comeback a couple weeks ago that just fell short, and then you got the win last week.
Yeah. So if you look here, the defense is telegraphing their play. They're going to at least have one player blitzing. So if the offense is watching the play selection over here, they should be. There we go. They ran out of it. Yeah. Yeah.
2-yard pickup for Sanders.
Let's see, they're going in the nickel. Got that backside and safety blitz. Is probably one of the two that they're going to go with. Let's see if I'm right. And if it is, you're going to want this slot receiver here or the running back.
Bradshaw. And just tossing
Yeah.
it way up. Emmett Thomas got over. Couldn't connect. 3rd and 8. They're on 27.
3rd and 8.
Sanders to the right. 2 wideouts left, 1 right. Lynn Swan's the lone receiver on that right side.
He's sending someone on a fly route.
Pitches, tosses, and it is caught. No, turnover. Emmett Thomas with the interception. Thomas picked it out of the hands, the fingertips of Lynn Swan. And Thomas with the INT, our first turnover of the game.
Earl Thomas, one of the youngest players in the Legends League, just retired.
And we'll see what the Immortals can do. Still lots of time left in that second quarter. Favre under center. You got Sayers. He's going to do a pitch to the right side. Sayers finds that lane. Boy, he was almost gone there, Dan. Got the first down, but he was one shoestring away from being totally gone.
Yeah. That was one of the best runs I've seen all season. He dodged 3
Gale
people
Sayers,
there.
he's had a heck of a game on the ground, Gale Sayers. Early
Yep.
contender for running back of the week, potentially. 4 wideouts. Trickles to that right. And Throwbacks in some sort of play change here. See what they're thinking. Looks like maybe send to the whole D line.
Maybe. I don't know what they got going on here.
Some deep
I think he might have ordered pizza. There we go.
He might. They got the one safety back. They got Tatum back there. Okay, and taking their time. There's Sayers to that left side. Sayers cuts again. Sayers with another 10-yard gain. Gale Sayers is eating up that front line of the Throwbacks. Another run for Sayers.
I wish we had some more replay on this game because that, I believe, the receiver came back on a crackback block on the blitzing linebacker.
Oh. Blocking. And you know what, Dan? That's a good point. Whenever running back has success, it's their talent, of course, but also the lead blockers.
Right.
Always got to give credit to those guys. And a good line.
To go the other way with it.
For the Immortals. Jim Ringo, Tom Mack, Brent Gatsky, Ralph Neely, Stan Jones. They do go to the right. And another chunk of two.
All right, no blitzing here. You can go something long here with nobody blitzing. Or underneath.
Yeah, I kind of like that
these
crisscross
linebackers
from the
fall back.
Yeah, the crisscross that we saw at the bottom play there. That would be interesting. As you got Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens on the same side on that left, and of course Shannon Sharp can do something.
All the time
Rice
in the world.
Crossing. Rice, oh no!
Ooh.
Nice break up there by the throwback.
He let him right into coverage though. If he could have gotten that ball out a little earlier.
You're right.
Now we're looking at some blitzing potentially. I like that underneath play.
Let's see Jerry Rice again. Low and wide out on the left. Let's see. Favre. Wait, Favre is attacked, and Fred Dean sack number 4. Fred Dean. Dan, in this game, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Fred Dean.
Yep.
Wow. Sack number 4. And field goal is good from 51 yards by Morton Anderson. So the Throwbacks bend but don't break. We'll see if they can respond, now trailing 33-21. And that one is kicked way out of the end zone. We'll go for a touchdown. The Throwbacks here, Dan, they're getting into territory still tons of times, so you don't have to really start necessarily pitching it up. You're getting into that way that you think, okay, well, Immortals, if they're going to be scoring some sort of points on every play, you got to start being pretty aggressive, right?
Well, that's, I think, where you start getting into trouble because once you start getting aggressive, you're not controlling the ball. You're putting it into the hands of the other player, and you're not giving those easy underneath crossing passes, those little short passes to the running back that are really sort of seem to be the thing that control the pace of the game.
Rattle off 12 yards and Keith Jackson to move the chains there. It was just to the left. Blitz coming for the Immortals. Bradshaw gets it away to the sideline. Keith Jackson again, and he shoves up the defender and steps out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line.
You know, interesting thing about some of these players is that we don't actually have sack statistics on a lot of players because the NFL didn't count sacks, especially during a guy like Fred Dean's era. Unofficially, he has 93, though.
7-step drop there, going for it all, and it is brought down by Lynn Swan. Lynn Swan up against Mel Renfro, and it is a huge play for the Throwbacks, getting some of that momentum back.
Yeah, Lynn Swan, a very acrobatic, graceful receiver, really went up and got that one out of the hands of a athletic, tough safety.
Let it rip. And Sanders to the right side did not fool the Immortals. And Kevin Green, former WCW wrestler Kevin Green.
There he is.
With the tackle for loss. He had the wrestler look, Dan. Oh man, he had the long hair, looked like Hulk Hogan. He was an underrated wrestler. He was great.
When I played against him, we scrimmaged against him in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. He came out, no pads on the bottom, and black and gold, yellow striped spandex with his long, flowy hair. He looked like a wrestler with shoulder pads on.
Oh, there's the great Junior Seau tackle for loss, stuffing up Barry Sanders there, 3rd and goal. He was. They said if he would have stuck with it, Kevin Green could have been a world champion in WCW if he was
Well,
on that path.
most guys retire from the NFL because their body can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So really tough to go into wrestling after football. It's gardening's a better career, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is very true. Renford, the lone safety, he's back. Let's see what Bradshaw does. He's going over the middle. It's deep, and it is. Ooh, that's really picked off. A flag though on Green. Face mask, 15 yards. I'm not sure why there's the decision to. Fourth and goal. And Throwbacks, a little pooch or something there. All right, so we'll give it back to the Immortals. As it is 33-21, Immortals over the Throwbacks, 3:13 to go in the second quarter. I love the end zone graphics too for the Throwbacks. It's very sharp, red, blue, and white.
Yep.
Some great logos in this. By the way, Dan, merchandise shop is open at UFFsports.com. You just go there, click the shop. You can get some Heroes FC gear if you like. Dale Sayers picks up 4.
Not only that, but we also have a player in this game who has some NFTs up for sale at ultimatesportsnfts.com.
No doubt about it.
It's Jake Reed.
You can check all those out. Yes, Jake Reed, part of the 3D crew with Chris Carter, are also other ambassador and NFT. We're just missing Randy Moss. So Randy, you're watching. You know you are. Come on in.
Yep.
Get some 3D or some Deep Threat NFT collectibles there. That'd be something incomplete on that right side. But yeah, Jake Reed, Chris Carter, got Eric Metcalf, Walt Harris, Lionel Dalton. Lots coming.
So
Michael Vick.
Interesting stat about Jerry Rice and Randy Moss here. I'll tell you in a second.
3-6 for the Immortals. From their own 12. Brett Favre looking. He has one-on-one coverage. Intercepted!
Who got him? Lester Hayes.
Lester Hayes with the INT. So each quarterback has an interception. Can the Throwbacks capitalize as they trail late in the second quarter?
So Jerry Rice had 197 career touchdown receptions. Randy Moss was second with 41 fewer. With all that talent, all that skill, all that size and speed, Jerry Rice, slow Jerry Rice, doesn't look like an athlete Jerry Rice, it's insane to look at that guy and think that he was the greatest of all time because he just doesn't look the part.
But technically sound, right? The hard work, it's just that
well, let's talk about hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, his father was a brick mason who built houses by hand, and the boys used to help him when their summers off. So holding those bricks, a little easier than holding footballs, or a little harder than holding footballs. Yeah.
Well, yeah, a little harder, and then you can catch them. Yeah.
Right.
I just love seeing these dream matchups every single week in the AFLL. So thank you so much for watching along. Bradshaw got hit on the throw, and it is Carmichael got it. 2-yard gain. Bradshaw paid the price, but he got it to Carmichael.
Yeah. Big push here in Philadelphia to get Carmichael into the Hall of Fame.
Certainly another one of those underrated guys, right?
Yeah. And the guy was 6'7". He was a giant receiver.
2-minute warning, ball swatted down by Junior Seau. 4th and 8. So they will have to punt.
Going with Mosley would be automatic, I think, at this distance.
Yeah, with that leg, it should be, and the ball is up. It's back. It is
no!
51 yards. Wow. You put the
that
you put
might
the jinx on
hurt him later.
Wow.
Yeah, I better not talk again. Sorry, Mosley.
Mosley will come break your jaw for the 3rd time.
Right.
Mark Mosley. Oh my. So a couple missed field goals for the Throwbacks. The first one was 67 yards, so you can give that one. But 51 yards should be money. And you look at that, Dan, with the score 12 points, that's a big difference right now against a team like the Immortals.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of ground to cover. You just got to be patient, though. When I see teams push, they just seem to fall further behind. So let's see what they do here. Going for a pass play, throwing some hot routes. Somebody's going on a fly route.
Oh, yep. Favre smack, but Steve Smith got it. Gain of 9. He reached that ball out, couldn't get to the marker as Favre got hit, but got it to Smith.
Yeah, it looks like Favre might have had the 2 receivers clear out for the quick out for Steve Smith there.
And no harm on that interception, as that field goal, like you said, for Moses was no good. Out of the pistol, quick release by Favre, and it is incomplete. Beautiful breakup there by Lester Hayes, who had that interception. It's been a fun battle, Hayes versus Rice all game long. It's 4th and 1. See what the Immortals choose to do here. They're going to go for it. At
this point, I would not run the ball. Let's see what they're going to give you on defense. Going to blitz on that right side, so can they call something off here to the left? A quick pass?
They're going Sayers, and Sayers finds the edge, just finds the edge, and he got 1.5 yards, but that's all they needed.
That's all he needed.
Heck of a game on the ground for Gale Sayers. Out of the pistol again, 2 wideouts left. Jerry Rice, lone man on the right. Favre changing the play at the line. Stand tall in that pocket after 3. Oh, he's going for it all. And it is incomplete. Tied up just enough of a breakup by the safeties there. Tatum doing a nice job holding up his man down without throwing a penalty.
Yeah, no shot there. I mean, we had everybody bumping into each other there. You couldn't concentrate on that pass to bring that one in, but we'll see what they go with this time.
Second and 10, audibles. Yeah, they like that 3 wide receiver bunch.
Let's see if they do this little out to Steve Smith again here. Nope, crossing.
He's waiting. And he's going to that left sideline, and it is brought down by Terrell Owens. Stop it, Theo. Stop it. Look at him calling the crowd in the visiting stadium, taunting the home team. That's classic Theo right there.
I just don't know. With these 2 receivers, T.O. and Jerry Rice, I don't know how you don't win.
Oh, Gale Sayers with a 5-yard cut in. He got absolutely squashed by Brazil, but not before picking up another 5. 46 seconds to go in the quarter.
It's weird to say, but I believe that Immortals' worst offensive player is maybe Favre, and he's amazing.
That's crazy.
I
love this league. 4 wideouts, Sayers in the backfield, Favre under center. You got Owens in that 3-bunch set on the right. Jerry Rice all alone. Him and Lester Hayes giving some cushion, making sure he doesn't get burned. Pitches to Sayers. Sayers makes his man miss. Grabs 5 on the ground and almost piggyback. I'm not sure who was on him there. Maybe Robert Mathis, who was in there. He just grabbed that first down. Sayers is on a mission today.
Just a smooth cut. Yeah.
He is. Man, the elusiveness. Just 34 seconds left. Reminder, folks, halftime guest Danny Jugan. He's the founder, creator of Axis Football. He's going to tell us all about the new updates coming to the game. You don't want to miss that coming up right at the half. Pitch to Sayers left side, and Brazil got him.
Yeah, I saw some of the updates, some of the new graphics. It's really exciting to see what this is going to develop into. So hopefully everybody sticks around and watches that.
Yeah, it's going to be a really cool feature with Danny, one of our buddies here. And so great getting to work and customize this game as the years go on in the American Football Legends League. 2nd and 13 in the red zone. Favre drops, heat's coming, going deep end zone, and it is incomplete. Was going for Rice into double coverage, tipped off his fingers.
Not only double coverage, but Favre had a blitzing. I don't know if that was a corner or safety coming down. So when Favre is under pressure, you're going to find he has some trouble completing passes in this league.
Yeah, you're right. We've seen that. It's about trying to hurry him a little bit.
Yeah.
Now out of the pistol. Favre, he's looking all alone in the end zone. Shannon Sharp. My goodness. Just when we talk about Rice and Owens, oh yeah, there's Shannon Sharp too, and he scores the major.
Now, had a lot of pressure coming up the middle, but it looked like the running back picked up the blitzing linebacker and gave Favre the time he needed to get that perfect pass off.
As we saw Sharp go from that left side across and into the end zone on the right. 15 seconds left, 40-21 for the Immortals. It will be a touchback, and we'll see what the Throwbacks can do, see if they can send their fans into the intermission with some hope.
Yeah, once again, it's not out of hand here yet.
No,
but, could be going that way.
Not.
Yeah, and it just seems like, they're going Hail Mary here. It seems, that's the call here, but they seem to be trying to push it down the field a little bit more than do some ball control. And maybe because they had some success early and they're trying to capitalize or build on that, but
they're going.
Looks like
it's deep. Intercepted! Intercepted by Woodson. Charles Woodson gobbles it up. The ball hawk Woodson with the interception.
Yeah, get you in trouble now. They can come around real quick and add to this lead. You got 10 seconds left, enough for maybe one play and a field goal.
It was a nice ball from Bradshaw. It's just, again, you're going up against Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson's going to pick on some balls. Immortals from their own 30.
Audibling up a lot of stuff. Let's see what they do.
57. Ooh, wide open Steve Smith. Just shot. Doesn't get out of bounds. Oh, they'll call for timeout.
Yeah. No shot of scoring here if they're trying to kick a field goal from this far out.
No. They might just air it out here.
How about a 90-yarder?
And if we saw a 67-yard miss, the swirling winds in Throwback Stadium out of the pistol. Sayers behind him. Rice on that left versus Lester Hayes. Favre. No pressure. Tons of time. Going to Smith. Nearly picked up. Tatum was
one
rushing
second
in.
left.
And they'll go. Oh, I thought Hail Mary. No, we'll see what they choose. 1 second left, and we'll head to the halftime show. Then out of the pistol. Going to that same formation.
Interesting. You talk about Tatum. Another guy who didn't play until his sophomore year. Jerry Rice didn't play until his sophomore year. A lot of players who just did not play their entire lives growing up, who decided to play in high school and ended up as legends.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Late bloomers, but it worked out. 40-21 is the score at halftime for the Immortals. That last pass incomplete from Brett Favre. So you see how we look at it here. The 24-21, Dan, as we welcome you to the early halftime show. Andy McNamara and Dan Esposito. Keeping notes, checking notes. Absolutely. Yep. And so it was that real close back and forth, but now we see Immortals start to pull away. And I'm with you. I'm interested to watch for if the Throwbacks try to get those chunk gains to move the offense, or if they keep trying to go for it, because you can't get 30 points back in one play. So you might as well go for the chunk game.
I understand you get anxious, you want to gobble up some points early, but as we see in this league, it's steady, 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 and then you get that big play. So you got to soften them up a little bit with some short passes. It doesn't look like the running game's working too well for them, but maybe if they can get the running game going a little bit in the second half, it might open up some more of those passes, and especially the deep passes where they're just trying to go. But I really think they need to focus on some of the shorter passes and gobble up some time on the clock.
Well, and we saw success in the first drive with Keith Jackson going for that deep ball. But what I would like to see for the Throwbacks, Dan, is try that Barry Sanders right over the middle. You let the blitzers, if Immortals are being aggressive and they're sending those linebackers, they scored a touchdown with it, they got a first down with it. I would go back for those short over the middle, and it's never a bad thing if you get the ball into Barry Sanders' hands.
Yeah, also you say something about Keith Jackson in that first quarter. We heard his name a lot, but I don't remember us talking too much about him in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So maybe they come back to Keith Jackson a little bit as well. Yeah. So we'll see how they come out in the second half.
Well, what we'll do is we will take you to our halftime guest. He is the founder and creator of Axis Football, the game that you're watching Legends League on, Danny Jugan. Here's my chat with him. Welcome, everybody. Andy McNamara, head of football operations for UFF Sports. And I'm on now with the man himself, the brain power, the founder, the creator of Axis Football, which is the engine that runs the American Football Legends League, our good friend Danny Jugan. Danny, how are you?
I am doing well. It's good to be on here again. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, last time we had John was for week one, kind of setting everything up. And now we've been through a few weeks of the season. We're into that second half of the year. And what have your thoughts overall been? Because the response, the popularity of the league has kept growing. The views keep growing. And there seems to be a lot of positivity around the league.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a whole lot of fun to watch. I know that we've kind of sat around as a family and watched a few of the games as they've come across. I think the coolest thing for us is seeing all the players. It's like an all-star game of all-star games, really, because it's, you've got so many big names. And really what's cool is just seeing how the game unfolds with such a high level of talent in there all at the same time. I know we had some really high scoring games, some really low scoring games on some sort of teams, but it's been really cool to see all of those players in there at the same time.
Well, yeah, and that's the whole thing with the AFLL. It was. And Danny, this is something yourself and me, when we were building this out, we didn't know how this was going to look. This has never been done before, where you have injuries off, all these players at their prime from all different eras, era calculations, algorithms, coding, all that stuff, put in all at the same time, and how that was going to look. So you see sometimes some strange statistics where it's like, well, Barry Sanders is used to going for 150 yards a game, but when he's up against a 99 D line, well, that's a totally different ball game that we've never seen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We're used to seeing these star players going against average players most of the time, and seeing how the dynamic of so many great players on the field at the same time really changes the aspect of how these players play on an individual level. And you're exactly right.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to watch. But then also, as we're getting into this next part of the season, how teams are adjusting, because this is also, even if they played Axis football before, this dynamic is something you haven't seen. How do you calculate in that these all-time great kickers can hit those 60-yard field goals, on a whim most of the time? And so when you look, and now we're seeing that strategy sort of shift, and that's going to be something when we move into season 2, what will be interesting to go back and look at.
Yeah, no, and again, you're absolutely right. It's it really tweaks the game of football, and it tweaks the strategy a little bit. The field becomes a lot bigger and smaller at the same time in terms of decision making. Like you can kick the ball from the 50-yard line, and you can do so consistently, and so that sort of thing changes it. And from our end, as we're looking at the gameplay engine that runs all of this, we've never done anything like this either. And so we're learning a lot about how we've got things set up and potentially some adjustments that we need to make based off of things that we're seeing in the game, and some adjustments that should be made in order to keep that high level of football integrity that we want to see on the field.
Absolutely. No doubt. So let's get to some of those changes or developments with the Axis football gameplay. And for those, the owners, the coaches, the GMs, the fans watching, this is what's so cool about the American Football Legends League, is we're partnering with you, so we get to actually work together and make this game so unique, where other gaming platforms, it's like, you don't like it, well, too bad. This is something where we get to work together to adjust that. So tell us a little bit about what we should be expecting for the next edition of Axis Football 22.
So great question. What we're doing to improve the game is really create a more dynamic experience from the viewership side. And what that means on field is essentially we are adding new ways that players can move. So right now, the underlying logic, algorithms that dictate player movement, player decisions on the field all of that is in, and it's pretty sound. Most of the time, players are going to the right places, pursuing at the proper angles, making the correct decisions that you would expect a high-level football player to make on the field. However, where the game is limited currently is there's not a whole lot of different ways that you can see the player movement in terms of an animation on the field. We have just a handful of catch animations. So if you look at the way a receiver puts his hands up to catch the ball, there are just a handful of different ways that that can happen. And what we're doing is we're going through and we're adding extreme depth in a variety of areas. So where we've got maybe 5 or 6 catch animations in the current version of the game, we're going to be adding hundreds and hundreds of different ways to catch a football. Everything from, leaning forward and grabbing the football, like if it's a lead catch, to, reaching behind you while you're running and slowing down to catch it, to jumping, to toe taps and toe drags on the sideline, to back of the end zone catch, like everything you can imagine. All the different configurations that we would expect a receiver to be able to contort his body and turn to catch it is what we're going to see. And we put out a video just a little bit ago, just a very small preview of that new catch animation system. And like I said before, what that's really going to do is it's going to add a lot of dynamics to watching a football, to experiencing, watching these players move on the field. It's going to be way more exciting to see all the different ways that they can do that. And the catching is just one aspect of that. We plan to do the same thing for tackling. We plan to do the same thing for blocking. And that same catching system also includes defensive backs. So right now, sometimes you'll see defenders kind of wait or lurk near the spot on the field where a thrown pass is going to land. And what we're going to see in future iterations, a lot of SWAT animations, defenders trying to come in and knock the ball down, interception animations that are separate from wide receiver catch animations. And so all of this to say, it's going to make watching these players on the field that much more exciting.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Danny. Yeah, we saw the little preview video from a few weeks ago, which much more to come, as you said. That's great. And that just adds to the viewing experience heading into year 2. I understand as well, from a playbook side, there's going to be some designed run plays for quarterbacks integrated into the play call as well. And that's what this is all about, right? Each year, add a little bit more and make the experience that much better.
Yep, that's exactly right. We're a small team, and so we've tried to be wise with the revenue that we've pulled in from game sales, and our goal has always been to reinvest back into the game, to take that money and purchase animation, hire developers, whatever we can do to improve the product so we can continue to move forward year after year and season after season.
Yeah, it's, there's going to be some more news. We're going to have you on later on the seasons as well. Some Legends edition possibilities with the game as well in upcoming years. So lots and lots to come. Danny, tell people where, if obviously they're watching this, they know about Access Football, but on social media, where they can find out more.
Yeah, so our website is accessleague.com. You can always check there for all of our links to our socials. But on Twitter, we're at Access Football. Instagram, same thing. And Facebook, we are Access Games. So check us out, any of those places. We have a dedicated social media person now who she does a fantastic job of posting several times and really interacting with the community. So check us out there, give us a follow, and you can follow along with the development of the game.
Definitely. Cannot wait. The official video game and platform for the American Football Legends League, Access Football. That's Danny Jugan. Danny, thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Let's see you soon.
Fantasy fantasy gals and guys, have you ever had somebody say to you, that player has no fantasy value? Well, then they've obviously never been a part of Ultimate Franchise Fantasy Sports, where everyone's a player, from the superstar to the backup. They all contribute to a real-world title, and they do the same thing in UFFS. All of our leagues are based on real-world rosters, meaning you have to make the tough decisions as a fantasy owner or GM. Lineup, contract, and otherwise. It has the feel of owning an actual franchise minus the billion-dollar price tag. And we have so much more. A revolutionary scouting platform where bird dogs find the talent and then get paid off when they make it to the big leagues. Check out all the information at www.uffsports.com and find the hottest sports NFTs at ultimatesportsnfts.com. With UFFS, you own the game.
Look, I'ma have to keep it real with real. I take all my problems to the field with the field.
My job is to disarm a bomb.
I am an explosive ordnance disposal technician.
And when things don't go well, I know there is an organization that is there for me and for my family. The EOD Warrior Foundation provides support to EOD heroes and their families. We need your support. Donate now at eodwarriorfoundation.org/donate.
Welcome back, everybody, to the American Football Legends League Game of the Week. To polish off Week 6, Andy McNamara alongside Dan Esposito. 40-21, Immortals leading the Throwbacks. Throwbacks get the first crack in this third quarter, and Allworth takes it, and he is, absolutely demolished at that 12-yard line there, Dan.
Can't fault him for trying to take the ball out of the end zone there because he wants to give his team a little shot, but not the smartest play.
Not on that one. So we'll see what Terry Bradshaw, Barry Sanders, who's the reigning running back of the week, can do to start this up, as they're in a hole, but we know in the AFL you can score in bunches. And that is complete to Keith Jackson. Hey, you called it, Dan. Go back to Keith Jackson. He had a huge first quarter. They start this second half with that.
Yeah, I'd like to see him on some of those out routes, those comeback routes on the outside, and also some crossing routes over the middle, because it seems like Immortals want to blitz a lot. So if you can get that tight end coming across the middle, you got nobody to cover him. The safety's got to come up and give support.
It looks like the linebacker's going to be coming hot
Out
here,
again.
Bradshaw. And, Jackson, he inhaled that ball. He vacuumed that in because Eugene Robinson was right there.
Yeah, if he can start out with a couple more yards on his first initial step rather than just immediately going on an out route there, serve him a little bit better, but he had that blitzing linebacker coming in, so a little bit of a hot read as well.
3rd and 5 from their own 17. Sanders on the right hip of Bradshaw. Bradshaw looks over the middle. It's complete to Carmichael. Harold Carmichael again brings the ball to the 30. The chains are moving for the Throwbacks.
Yeah. The defense called a little bit of a twist play there. Took a little bit longer to develop. Gave Favre some, is that Bradshaw? Gave Bradshaw some time to get rid of that ball.
Well, Dan, that's, again, right over that middle. Now, it's worked with Sanders, and now it's worked with Carmichael as they slid him inside into the slot to get over that middle. We'll see what they do here. Go with Barry Sanders, and he gets back to scrimmage. Kevin Green is the one who took him down. 2nd and 9. Boy, this front seven of the Immortals is daunting. But hey, Dan, we said it. You can be at times too aggressive, and as long as you have the right play call, you can get some open space. See what they do there. Bradshaw has some time, hits Carmichael, and he gets the first down, and he is taken down by Junior Seau, but Harold Carmichael starting to be a favorite and draw some connection with Bradshaw.
It's obviously because he was an Eagle.
Got him, absolutely.
Yeah, the linebackers just really dropped back on that one. I think they're expecting a longer pass on the defense. Now they're blitzing, picked it up well.
From left to right, Keith Jackson. Hey, you know what? It's those chunk plays, Dan, that are working. Have the long drives, get those touchdowns, and force, maybe you get a turnover. Look, as great as Brett Favre has been, he has been known in this league and in real life to turn the ball over. So just get those points any way you can.
We'll see if that top safety comes on the blitz here on the right side. Yep, here he comes.
145. He's coming. Bradshaw got rid of it. Wide open, Keith Jackson to the 40, and he's passed to the 36. Keith Jackson and Bradshaw read that play perfectly for the Throwbacks.
All right, let's see what they're calling on defense here. Got two potential linebacker blitzes on the right side. Toss that ball to the right, get that linebacker up. Nope, they're blitzing on the backside.
And going to...
It's interesting. They're using Kenny Easley as a receiver on that play. I'm not sure how he got switched over to the offensive side of the ball.
Kenny Easley, little fly. Hey, you know what? Old school used to go both ways, right? So Easley with the quick out, 1 yard gain. Bradshaw, 7-step drop. Waits over that middle. It hits again to Barry Sanders, and they are just shy 30 inches of that first down marker. That, Dan, if it's me, I'm going back to that play all day until they stop me.
Yeah, I think they should just keep using Barry Sanders in the pass game, kind of abandon the run a little bit here and just keep going those short chunks to Sanders, or keep him in as a second blocker, an additional blocker.
Harris is the fullback. Sanders, he got the first down, earned a couple as he got a
barely the first down, but
headshot.
Yeah, just fight another day.
As long as you got it. These linebackers just fly around in this league. So Sanders doing it through the air, doing it on the ground.
All right, they may be bringing the house here, so we'll see what happens. Nope.
Bradshaw, old line holding up well, and it is again connected to Sanders right over the middle. They have found something they like right over that middle, and it is exploiting the aggressive defense of the Immortals. 2nd and 4 from the Immortals 18, now in the red zone. Bradshaw.
Backside blitz.
Little pivot, goes over the middle again. First down for Barry Sanders from Bradshaw, and he's waiting and he's
Bradshaw's pumped. Bradshaw is pumped. Just keep going and keep feeding the ball right there. Yep, eventually Sanders will break one free.
That's it. 3 wideouts, 2 on the left. Bradshaw. Oh, the heat is coming, and Bradshaw. The linebacker blitz from Chuck Benary.
Concrete Charlie.
Dan, he was untouched. That was just a free run.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Favre couldn't get that ball out, or Bradshaw couldn't get that ball out quick. He got that crossing tight end. There he is.
Out there to Keith Jackson, and got a lot of that ball back to the 8-yard line. 3rd and 7. Keith Jackson earning those yards again.
I just think you keep feeding the ball to Jackson. If Jackson and Sanders just short passes, maybe keep some of these receivers on some short crossing patterns as well. There we go on the outside.
He just missed him.
Moved before. The receiver moved before he had the ball, so saw that end zone. Or he heard footsteps, but I don't think the footsteps were close enough.
Lance Allworth, it went by him. 4th and 7 now. And, you can't really blame the Throwbacks for going for it here. It's a long 4th and 7.
All right, they're playing base.
Right side, it hits Keith Jackson, but only able to grab 2 before being brought down by Bobby Dillon. And it will be a mortal ball on the Colonel.
Yeah. I would have went for the points there. I got into that game where I almost had the comeback, and I passed up 1 or 2 field goals to try to go for the touchdown. But if I would have gotten those points later in the game, I would have come out with the victory.
They're gonna come back.
Yep.
And there's Favre with the pitch to Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers with some length. Gale Sayers with some daylight. Taken down at the 21-yard line. Sayers so smooth. They got around that edge. Might have been a Shannon Sharp lead block too to help do that with Jim Ringo clearing that space. Again with the triplets. Under center's Favre pitching to the right side. Gale Sayers made the one-man miss, still losing one. But you had Robert Mathis coming in like a house on fire. And Tatum was the man who came up from safety to actually get that tackle for a step loss.
Yeah, Tatum played for 2 teams, Oakland Raiders, Houston Oilers. Only played for the Oilers for 1 year. But 2 of the hardest hitting teams in the 80s.
Ooh, no kidding.
Yeah. Big blitz, picked up well.
There's a flag, and Rice with the reception, but what is it's on the defense. It's on Fred Dean, so that play will stand as Jerry Rice with that crosser.
Yeah, the offense did a really good job of picking up the blitz on the left side there.
Yeah. And Favre staying under center. Again, he loves that 3-bunch wideout set on the left, and they're pitching to Sayers on the right. The wide receiver's doing a nice job blocking as Sayers rumbles for 5.
Yeah. Jack Tatum from Passaic, New Jersey, he was also named as one of the defensive players, or a player of the century in high school. One of the top 10 defensive players in the country in high school, of the century.
High school.
Yeah, at the high school level, yeah.
And going back to that 3 set, let's see if he keeps giving it to Sayers. 2nd and 4. On their own end, incomplete. He was smoked. Fred Dean was on him. Fred Dean was on Brett Favre, and he was lucky to get it away.
You know, not only is Tatum an amazing football player, he also wrote 3 best-selling books.
3 bestsellers.
They Call Me Assassin. Yeah, well, I'll tell you the titles of these books, and you tell me.
Okay.
Wait till after this game is play here.
Again, under center, that Throwbacks defense is creeping in. They're shallow, 3rd and 4. Tatum was creeping in. Now he's dropping back. Favre with some space. He's going deep. Double coverage intercepted. Double coverage intercepted in there. It is Ham. Jack Ham with the INT. Throwbacks ball.
So Tatum's books, 1980, They Call Me Assassin.
Football.
1989, he wrote They Still Call Me Assassin. And then in 1996, I guess he needed more money. Final Confessions of an NFL Assassin. That's a mouthful. Yeah. So really leaning into that assassin name. Yeah.
Oh, and Keith Jackson leaning
Keith.
into that ball for the reception as he goes big, and they are pressing. Terry Bradshaw is to try to get those chunk gains, catch the Immortals, maybe a little flat-footed or discombobulated after that interception. 2nd one of the day for Favre. Right here's Bradshaw to the shotgun. Has some time. Ooh, and that is out of play. Lucky that wasn't picked off.
Had a couple better options, I think, but tried to force it in to the deeper receiver there.
Again out of the shotgun. 2 wideouts
Here we go,
on the
running
left.
back to the right.
Right
Yep.
side. Whoa! And that ball booted off the helmet of Barry Sanders and went to the moon there. And 3rd and 10 is the result. Incomplete.
Barry's got good hands. It's a little small, so maybe that one was a little too hot for him.
Maybe that got him. Carmichael for, not enough. You go to those short side, Dan, and really your only hope is it's almost 50-50, because if you don't make that first man miss, you're only getting a couple, and that's what happened there.
Yeah, you know, I if I see that play come up and I like all the other the route options, I tend to call a hot route for that receiver to give them a little bit more room to work with than that quick out.
Yeah, especially if you're in a down and medium situation and you need some chunks.
Absolutely.
4th and 8, Bradshaw going for it. They're in Immortals territory, and it is swatted down by the linebacker core of the Immortals. It is a turnover on downs.
And that's what I'm talking about pressing. You just press and press and press, and you do that on 4th down. You put your defense in a really bad position with a little bit shorter field.
2-man miss. He just carried that pile there. Dan, my goodness. Gale Sayers, what a game on the ground. And out of the under center position again, going to Sayers, and he finds that edge. Sayers with the first down, pushes for 7. Another first down for Gale Sayers, and it's that edge, those edges. So give credit to Ringo and Jones on that Immortals tackle spots on that O-line.
Going back to the run. Those
again,
receivers,
those
receivers are really laying some bricks out there for him to walk past. I mean, he has just got a clear path for the first 5 yards with those receivers in that bunch formation on the left side.
Yeah, Dan, you know what? That's a good point, because at first look, you think, well, okay, they'll be chucking it up, but they're using them as extra blockers, and the receivers
just doing it again.
Right back again.
That is
another ground and pound to 8 yards.
3 in a row. That's 3. They're using those receivers, the big receivers, tall, the physical receivers over there to block on that toss, and it really takes that blitzing linebacker out of the play as well.
It's working, and they'll go to the right side now, to the weak side, and he is going to be short of that first down, 3rd and 1. Trying to mix it up a little bit on the right.
Yeah, I wouldn't move away from what's working. If it's working and you're physical, I would keep calling up that same play.
And they're in the same formation, that 3 bunch, and under center is Favre. And they'll hand it right up the gut. Did say, I don't think he got it. 4th and inches. No, Tatum burned up there. There's a little point to Sayers. He said, I got you. I see you.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see Assassin in the metaverse anytime soon. The book, I mean. We're seeing the player.
Oh. How come?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Tatum passed away a few years ago.
42-yarder is good. Oh, I thought you meant just the book wouldn't be allowed in there, yeah.
We'll see if maybe we can get one of his kids to write it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Why not?
That would be an amazing book. Yeah.
Out of the end zone for the touchback.
We'll sell that one as an NFT.
Sure. Yeah, sell each chapter or something. Why not? UltimateSportsNFTs.com, folks. If you haven't checked it out yet, you have to see these NFTs. Incredible. Collector sets, whole bunch there. There's Bradshaw. Drop back. Barry Sanders, right side, Sanders, and he just rolled out on that right side. And Sanders, as a receiver today, Dan, is having a lot of success on those quick out passes that Bradshaw's able to find him on. Out of zone 44. So they have the triplet set of their own. Bradshaw, you better get rid of that ball. And it's incomplete, but Junior Seau was a-coming for him.
Yeah, I just remember playing against them in my league. I mean, you just couldn't get Bradshaw down. I mean, you rush him a little bit, but it's really hard to sack this guy one-on-one. Another blitz.
And incomplete. Racing in, Eugene Robinson with the swat down, 3rd and 10 for the Throwbacks. And again, Dan, this is me. I don't know. I would keep going to that over the middle to Barry Sanders or Steve Jackson, whatever works. Okay, going sideline. Carmichael got it, but only 2, 4th and 8.
On that play, that out is going to be open, but that out is only going to get you a yard or 2, maybe 3. And you really need 5 or 7. 7 really to give yourself some confidence. So I would try to hot route that guy out to a crossing pattern or a deep comeback and take my chances. Yeah.
4th and long. Coming, Bradshaw, and the ball's loose. The ball is loose, and it's a sack by Buchanan. I believe the Throwbacks recovered. Not that it matters because Immortals get the ball. Wow, so a sack by Bradshaw. Buchanan absolutely stormed in, and now Gale Sayers, and now they're finding that edge. Carl Eller coming in to make that. Oh, no, that was Hayes. Lester Hayes, the cornerback. And Throwback starting to adapt to that 3-bunch set and shook off the receiver to make the tackle. 41 seconds left in the third quarter. 43-21 for the Immortals. Andy McNamara alongside Dan Esposito.
Check 32.
And we'll see. It's that same formation with the edge. Nope. Favre's going to throw, and he's throwing deep and to the right side, and it's a touchdown. Shannon Sharp with the TD. Drew the defense in with all those runs, and then found Sharp on an over the middle cross. Another touchdown for Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, it's really when that offensive line and that running back stays in to pick up that blitz, it gives the quarterback a little extra time to sit in the pocket, and the receiver can, on a downfield route, he's more open. If he is under pressure, that downfield route doesn't have enough time to develop.
And it's a touchback. And Dan, hey, credit to the play callers for the Immortals, because they stayed consistent with that same look formation, run, pitch, run, and then when they went away from it, it really got the defense just thinking, well, it has to be a run, and next thing you know, Shannon Sharp's behind you.
Yeah. Ooh, you don't see that much in this league. I don't know if that's the play you want to be running. Keith Jackson, not very nimble.
Hey, you know what? You mix it up. You mix it up a little bit, and
you come back on a Philly special on the next play.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, end of the third quarter, 50-21, and throwbacks. Hey, getting a little unorthodox. Why not? Give a little look. Didn't pay off, but all right.
I think
Bradshaw
Jackson's better suited to catch the ball in that 7 to 10 yard range than a. There we go.
And
Carmichael.
Carmichael sprinting after the catch. He really turned on the Jets there right after the reception, and was able to give a little stiff arm to Eugene Robinson to get the first down. And the shotgun, try to give himself time against that dominant front seven. Pressure coming. Bradshaw waits. He got rid of it. To Carmichael to get over the middle to the 40. Carmichael receives and rumbles for another big gain, and now they are marching one more time for the throwbacks. Bradshaw,
there we go.
Quick out. Yep. Carmichael. Okay. Now you got 5 or 6.
Yep. That's perfect. That's you're not under pressure there on that pass. You got the first down. That one's going to be open a little bit more, and you're not really pushing it so hard because you've got some more plays to go, more downs.
The quarterback's playing off of the receivers as well. Did he get in bounds at that?
Got it. Yep.
Oh, 3rd and 3. There you go.
Go-drag swag right there.
Yeah.
Beat you to
Tippy
it.
toe. That's right. Tippy toe there by Carmichael. 3rd and 3. Bradshaw, you got Barry Sanders in the backfield, of course. Sanders and Sanders. Hey, his first real success on the ground today. Sanders rattles off 5, picks up the first down, and the throwbacks continue. They're pushing and pressing here. Looks like maybe some linebacker heat coming from the Immortals. Green and Sayout. Heat is coming. It's coming, but Bradshaw does have time, and he finds Keith Jackson. And Keith Jackson grabs 12 for another first down.
Bradshaw's pumped again. Get another fist pump there. There we go.
Okay, look at him. For the home crowd. The home crowd's hot in Throwback Stadium. Cactuses in the background. New stadiums as well coming to the Axis Football League, which we'll see in the AFL next year. Corner pass, just out of the reach of Keith Jackson. Was really trying to just airdrop that in.
They gave up a easy reception over the middle here, about 5 yards, and went for the end zone. Pushing it a little bit again, but
that's right.
We'll, oh no.
A turnover, fumble! It's a sack fumble, Nomalini!
Leo Nomalini!
Oh, boy.
I'm pretty sure he's in the Italian Sports Hall of Fame, Leo Nominelli. Nomalini.
Whatever you want to say it, it's a sack, it's a turnover, and it is Immortals ball. And Dan, I'm sure you did too. We saw Lynch one just over the middle all day, and Bradshaw had his eyes downfield, didn't see him. Gale Sayers rattles off 7 more yards, pushing that pile.
Just under a quarter to play. Going to be tough now. Now they're really going to start pressing if they get the ball back soon. And, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Immortals might take this game when looking into my crystal ball.
Well, they're certainly in good position, as is Gale Sayers, for possibly being the top running back of the week. Favre! Whoa, what a sidestep by Favre to avoid getting lit up. Willie McGinnis was coming for him.
Yeah, surprising an intentional grounding on that play. Was inside the tackles, and the receiver was about 15 yards away.
Yeah, that was a bit of a panic. And we see that triplet set going to the weak side. Gale Sayers stopped. The loss of 2. Jack Tatum again. Jack Tatum has been a beast this whole game for the Throwbacks. And Dan, it's funny to say, you can have tremendous defensive performances in the AFL and still give up 50 to 60 points. That's what's so wild about it. Like Jack Tatum's has had a great game, but they've still given up 50 points.
Yeah, you know, I just think it comes down to that ball control once again. You
Yeah.
know, it's really, I think, the most important factor in the Legends League.
Punt return back by Shell, and the Throwbacks have another opportunity. 11:07 to go. Really, Dan, I think for this team, you just need to get back into the end zone. You got to get some sort of points in. You've had 2 missed field goals. You had another opportunity where you could have gone for 3. And I understand you're down, you want to be aggressive, but you start, like you said, you start adding those up, and it's a different looking ball game.
Let's see if they go to Jackson here over the middle. Coming
Bradshaw,
across. There
nobody
he
over
is.
the middle, going to the sideline. Keith Jackson for 6, and he really fought his way with Charles Woodson there.
Yeah, he had 2 guys open over there. I just really think you keep coming back to this play until they defend it.
Yeah, I agree. Hand-to-hand combat there with Woodson. Keith Jackson, heck of a ball game. Out of the shotgun
Shotgun.
is Bradshaw. Right hip is Sanders. Sanders goes out over the middle. He was waiting. They go to the sideline instead. And Keith Jackson got 2, but Barry Sanders was waiting and calling it out. Bradshaw just didn't see him. 3rd and 2. That little button hook all day, Dan, is working.
Yeah. Got a potential blitz on the right side here. Let's see if they come with it. Nope, drop it back.
Does not protect. Oh, they're going deep. Triple coverage. Intercepted by Junior Seau. Seau with another INT for the Immortals. And that was just you talk about pushing it, Dan. That was just too much of a push. That's triple coverage.
Yeah. Now, interesting fact as well, Junior Seau and I both dated the same girl.
What?
Not at the same time. Yeah.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. She was beautiful, too. It's an interesting story. She couldn't hear very well. She had she was hard of hearing. I didn't know this, and I thought she was ignoring me all the time. So I would talk to her, and she would talk right over me, and that's kind of why I dumped her, and I found out later she was hard of hearing. Yeah.
Oh, Dan.
Beautiful girl, though. I mean, just beautiful. Yeah.
Are you sure both of those broken jaws came from football? She didn't run
Right. No,
Go
but I've been
Jerry
hit by
Rice!
women in the past. Yeah, there he is.
For the 14, Jerry Rice, right over the middle. You see him raising the roof there. Jerry Rice, so dominant. Oh, under center, there's Gale Sayers. We'll see if they go back to that pitch. They do with the wide receivers block. Gale Sayers all day. 9-yard gain. What a blocking combination. That's something to scout on the Immortals going forward, because, Dan, that has been an incredibly successful lineup and look for the Immortals today.
Curious to see if they come back with that trips on the right and do that toss, because you got some guys blitzing here 100%. I think these guys will pick it up. We might be able to get, well, not toss.
Whoa!
But,
Yes,
he's in. Is he in? Yep.
Touchdown! Sayers bullied his way through past Brazil, and he is in for the major.
Seems like a really good strategy to pick up that blitz with that trips pattern on the right side, but it might just be because you got such good receivers. I don't know if the rest of the receivers in the league will be able to pick it up the way that they do on this team with the Immortals.
Well, the real-life NFL, as we know, is a copycat league. Point after is good. And I don't know. We'll have to see if people do try that, because you're right. You do have Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens as 2 of those. Oh, yeah, and Steve Smith is a gutsy little player, too. And Shannon Sharp. That's not bad to have blocking and clearing a pass for you.
No, not at all. Especially when you can run like Gale Sayers.
Oh, man. And then, of course, you mix in Gale Sayers, who can do it all himself,
So we haven't been able to talk about Jerry Rice too much here. I wanted to discuss one thing here. at Mississippi Valley State, his nickname was World. Therefore, his nickname is basically Jerry World. So Jerry Jones is not the original Jerry World. And I think Jerry Rice should get some compensation for that park he's got there.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he should have patented it. Patent pending.
And so another interesting story. He ran for the Scouts anywhere between a 4.45, which is fairly fast for a receiver, not blazing, but it's fast, and 4.71. Other Scouts had him
at.
Quite
a range.
Yeah. Cowboys wanted him, but the 49ers traded up right ahead of them to pick him up. But he was also the #1 pick in the USFL draft that year. Decided to go in the NFL.
Triple coverage again to the right side, incomplete, 4th and 6.
So it's interesting. You waste a #1. Yeah, you waste a #1 draft pick on a guy like Jerry Rice who doesn't come to your team. So I'm curious, what happens to that pick? Do they get compensated for it or not? We'll have to do a little research on that.
To see, or maybe it's just, I know it's the CFL draft, it's if you take the guy and he doesn't play, that's tough luck.
No kidding. Okay.
I don't know if that would be the same or not. Interesting.
Well, if there's any football nerds out there, please comment down below and let us know.
Yeah, hit us up. Get us on Twitter too, folks. At AndyMC81, at Almighty Espo. Heroes FC as well on Twitter, Dan. And Instagram.
Where am I on Twitter? Heroes FC. Heroes FB. I don't remember. We'll put it in the description later.
You know, find Dan at Almighty Espo, and he would have retweeted something.
Absolutely. Almighty Espo on Twitter.
And of course, the league at the AFLL, and Instagram at the UFAFL. Park just got that ball away, threw it away smartly to the right. And that's where also, we have our weekly players of the week and game previews and all that good stuff.
Now, if you're on Getter, which I know a lot of people are, I'm Flexibility on Getter, at Flexibility. So if you're an athlete looking for better flexibility, go check out my Getter profile.
Ooh, all right. And we see that triplet set, but now out of the pistol formation. So I wonder what we're going to see here out of Favre. The run success has been out of... Oh, they're not going to run. Okay, Favre waits right over the middle. But you had Barry Sanders going deep again, incomplete. You had Barry Sanders, or rather Gale Sayers looking right at you, right over the middle, but we know Favre likes to push.
Just trying to run it up a little here, I think.
Morton Anderson. See if they can get the 60 burger. It's up, back. We've seen a couple missed kicks today. It is good from 50 yards.
Is that the first made field goal today?
Ooh, I think one other one was made. I think a 55-yarder was made, I believe.
There we go. All right.
But a couple missed. And that will be a touchback. So the throwbacks with 7:05 left can still at least make a game of it.
You know, I mean, what we could go for is maybe Keith Jackson as Offensive Player of the Week if he can get some more receptions and yards here. That's what I'd be shooting for.
Could be. Get the ball into Keith Jackson's hands. Could be one of the top performers at the receiver position, released every Tuesday after the game. So tomorrow.
There's our guy.
There's Keith Jackson. There's Keith Jackson down the sideline. He's racing. On the 30. Keith Jackson. A catch and run. Some major yak.
Keith Jackson. Rumbling, stumbling. Anytime Keith Jackson would have a highlight, anytime he had a highlight on ESPN, Chris Berman would do his best Keith Jackson announcer voice.
I missed him. Oh, incomplete on that pass. Bradshaw was blown up by Buchanan. And that's the thing, Dan, too. Like, you're in a predictable situation, obviously, so where you're going to have to pass. So for the Immortals, who are already aggressive, know they can blitz. O-line holds there, though, and Carmichael, being the 3, 37 from the 27. And the blitz is coming, it looks like, Dan, for the Immortals.
We'll see if they audible into a shorter pass here. There we go.
Aggressive, and I thought he had it. I thought Keith Jackson had that. He was cutting across, similar to those 2 Shannon Sharp touchdowns. Same play, but Keith Jackson was unable to deal with the double team.
So I think that they should go for the field goals just in case there's a points tie to get into the playoffs later in the year. You might need these points. You're not going to get this win here. You need the points in case there's the slim chance that you need them to get into the playoffs.
That's a fair point. And we're seeing there is some parity, there is some dominant team, but it's to get into the playoffs because it's the division winners plus the 3 wildcard teams.
Yeah, so if you've got 2 wildcard teams with the same win-loss percentage, same divisional percentage, it might come down to points.
Good. Gale Sayers, not fooling anybody there. Bianconti, the stop and tackle for loss.
A lot of Italians in this game today. Yeah, Nominelli, Buonaconti.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about that is Buonaconti's son actually got paralyzed in a college football game, unfortunately, and Jack Tatum paralyzed a guy in an NFL football game.
Oh my!
So a little trivia for you.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Carl Eller with the sack on Brett Favre there, and they are third and extremely long. 3rd and 22. Pushed back in their own territory at the 15. Favre, he waits. Ooh, he just got rid of it. Almost picked up, but Steve Smith cutting across came back for it. 4th and 14, though, they will have to punt. Shane Leckler with the boot. Shell will receive at his own 15. Shell to the 21. Looked like the ball almost came loose there, but he held on. I'm with you here, Dan. If I'm the throwbacks, I'm trying for any sort of points for those tie-break situations, and also try to get Keith Jackson the player of the week. But when you're in the game, it's a lot different, right? When you're actually in it, and you get absorbed with it. It's a little different.
Once you're down this much, adrenaline kind of takes over, and you.
My! The play action.
Concrete
Charlie. Laid the concrete bricks to Terry Bradshaw's jaw. It's a loss of 6, 2nd and 16. Pushed back to their own 19. With a shotgun here. Right hip to Sanders. Quick toss, and he got 3 back. Third and 14 from their own 22.
I think they're going to go long here, but watch this backside blitz that might come in. Let's see, they have enough players to pick it up. They might have enough linemen to pick it up on the left side. Did not blitz though.
Oh, Bradshaw. Oh, maybe heard a little footsteps here. A little Sam Darnold ghosts, perhaps, by Terry Bradshaw. Seeing ghosts. 4th and 14. Interesting quarterback situation in real life NFL. I wonder what's going to be happening around the league as this year starts off and the UFAFL gets back underway when the real NFL season does. And complete to the left for Steve Smith.
Now, who won the UFAL championship last year?
It was the Legion, Team Legion, coached by Ross Monroe, who's heading up the horse racing side as Sayers is tackling for a loss. The UFS Sports Horse Racing Fantasy Division, which is going to be coming soon, brand new. So keep your eye open for that for all you fans of ponies. Yeah.
So who was in that championship game this year?
It was Legion and Heatwave.
Okay. So what is the NFT that we have on the Ultimate Sports NFTs where it says circa 13-0?
So the Circa had the perfect regular season. Well, the Circa had they had the first perfect regular season, 17-0, which is quite phenomenal for our friends at the Circa. And actually, speaking of that, Dan, I'm talking about segues here, professional broadcaster. We're going to Las Vegas, baby, for the NFL draft, the real NFL draft. It is in Vegas, and we're going to be there. UFF Sports.
Here we go. Touchdown.
Shannon Sharp. Same play, Dan. We'll get back to that in a sec. But Shannon Sharp, 3rd touchdown, and the same time, he just keeps going over and keeps beating that back safety. Big touchdown for Shannon Sharp. And he might be challenging Keith Jackson for that player of the week with that third touchdown. Point after was good. But to get back to the trip, so for the NFL draft, which is in Las Vegas, our friends at Circa Hotel, Resort, Casino, they are hosting us, and you can be there with us. There's very limited packages available. It's all worth hustles out of the end zone, and it gets smoked at the 17th. You get, Dan, to watch at Stadium Swim, which for those who haven't been there, mega screens. It is it's the hottest party in Vegas. It's like you're in a movie, like you're at Entourage or something. People spraying champagne everywhere. It's crazy. You get to be there in a VIP section with us. Drink tickets, meal voucher. Then after you watch the first round of the draft with us on those big screens in Vegas, you go up to the Legacy Club. And Dan, again, if you haven't been there, the views are iconic. You can see all of Vegas. They have a glass rotating case stand of gold bars. Like out of Ocean's 11, like a heist movie. Gold bars rotating. It's
all that wealth just sitting there, yeah.
It's just looking at you. The bar goes up. Legacy Club, if you haven't experienced, you've got to, and you can with the UFF Sports and Circa and Stadium Swim and Legacy Club. Our NFL Draft Party package is just $500. You won't be able to buy or even get into any sort of party of note in Vegas to be that close to the NFL Draft. And also, on the Friday, the 29th, we're going from the 27th to the 29th. On the 29th will be the final day of the new Ultimate College Fantasy Football League franchise auction. So we're going to be able to really tie the Legends League that we're watching now to the real life NFL, and the college side really brings it all together.
Really interesting, though. You got a lot of players who were really amazing in college who for some reason just couldn't make it in the NFL, where you can find some real sort of sleeping gems if you do your research there.
Well, that's right. On the scout side, you can buy a team actually as a scout. So you can, before you weren't be able to, but for a college franchise, you can be a scout, you can own, and you're going to earn revenue off the fantasy points that your team, that your prospect actually earns as the onside.
What just happened right there? Did you see? I don't know who recovered that. Maybe they were scrambling for it the whole way, but who got it? Immortals picked it up.
Immortals picked it up. Yeah, it was a hot scramble on the onside.
Wow.
Kick, yeah. So they got back there with $1.53 to go in the game. But yeah, the college athletes. Gale Sayers! Oh, Gale Sayers, another 7. And Tatum made him pay with the high hit.
Yeah, the really great thing about these franchises is that when you own a franchise, you own it forever, and there's only a limited number of franchises available. So they become real commodities, almost as if you've bought a piece of land in Decentraland years ago. Once you get onto one of these franchises early at a really great entry fee, in a few years, you could have a franchise worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, that's absolutely it. And the starting point to bid for the 24 franchise in the college league is just $500. So you can get in, you put it in. And
the hockey teams, the original hockey teams went for $300, and the highest selling one so far at resale has been, what, $80,000?
Yeah, $80,000 US, I believe, up and around that range. We actually had the first sale in the American Football Legends League a month ago. Sean Berthold, U.S. Navy veteran, buying Team Valhalla, which at auction sold. He made the original owner made quite a profit off of that. So it's something where you are able to, as you said, you own the franchise, you go, and the next set of that is college, especially for scouts, because you earn revenue off the prospects that you hold, and it's another touchdown for Shannon Sharp. Same play, Dan. Yep. It's catching. It's pitch and catch.
Yeah, one of these tight ends is going to be player of the week, I think. At least player of the game. Yeah.
They both might appear in that set. That's quite a game for Shannon Sharp and Keith Jackson with 39 seconds to go. But yeah, like for these scouts, before it was you buy the rights, the fantasy rights to a prospect, and then wait until they get drafted to the NFL to earn money if they get drafted, and you sell them to a UFAFL team. Well, now you can wait. You don't have to wait. You can earn revenue off of the fantasy points of your scout prospect. And if you own a team, Dan, you get 100% of that. So it just makes so much sense for scouts to become owners in this new college league.
Right. And I think when we say revenue, I think we should alert everybody that we're talking about the score token, which is the
Yes.
token for the UFFS platform, which is a
Absolutely.
very limited supply. So the value of that token, this is not financial advice, as more franchises get introduced to this platform, they're going to have to start splitting up tokens. The value of those tokens could go up tremendously.
Yep, absolutely. Phenomenal point. Yeah. With these franchises being the currency, you have that utility with the score coin. And a lot of excitement coming to the UFF Sports platform. So UFFsports.com, you're going to want to keep track. And to keep track of all your Legends League, as Keith Jackson with another reception gain of 3. You go to uffsports.com/AFLL. And that's, Dan, where you can see the standings. You can see the game recaps written by our own Jamie Thomas and the weekly podcast, Legends of the Gridiron. You've been a guest on there. Stats, all that good stuff. Logos, merchandise.
And it's also, I think, worth talking about that right now, if you're staking score token, you're getting a 50% APY.
Well, you know what? That's what it started at. It came down. It's now at 25%, but still heck of a return.
Either way, you're not getting that anywhere else. Yeah. Especially if you're a sports fan.
Nothing.
Right. They're going to take money from you at the bank. Let me tell you about Wells Fargo did to me a few years ago. So. Yeah, it's all right. I don't want to fight the big banks.
That's with time ticking down. That may wrap this one up. Oh, 3 seconds left.
Oh, someone called timeout, or what do they do? Oh, okay.
No, and that will do it. It is over. The Immortals 76-21 winners over the Throwbacks. And Dan, I can't believe after how this one started, the Throwbacks didn't score again after the first quarter.
Yeah, it seemed like they were pressing quite a bit, and that really limited their ability to get downfield, because when you're pushing so far up and you've got those safeties that you've got on the other line, they're fast, they're athletic, and they're ball hawks.
Yeah, you get into that pattern, that almost self-fulfilling prophecy where you have to push to come back, but then you turn it over and you fall further behind and you have to keep playing catch up. And it just didn't quite work out for the Throwbacks. However, I think at least if you're the Throwbacks, you found some plays that work. Keith Jackson, Carmichael, those outs, and especially, Dan, the over the middle, the Barry Sanders and Jackson was a play-making gem that kept on producing for them.
I got to tell you, I do have a concern, though. Morton Anderson's leg is probably really tired right now with kicking so many field goals, extra points, and kickoffs. So he's going to need to ice that baby up before he gets into the next game next week. Yeah. So
ice that hammy. Ice the hammy up there. And you know what? For the Immortals, we saw, I think, Dan, arguably, and it might not even be that much of an argument, the best pure running performance of any running back in the AFLL today with Gale Sayers.
Absolutely. As a former running back, you got to love to see what Gale Sayers did today. I mean, he made a lot of guys miss today. He got a lot of extra yards after that first contact, and he really kept this team moving the ball when they needed him to. And let's not forget about the trio of wide receivers that really opened up a lot of lanes for them. That's something I want to really keep an eye on as a coach and also as the color guy going forward, because coaching up against those guys, I'm going to maybe see how I can defend against that when we play them again.
Well, and then you throw in, so you got the 3 receivers. Then also you got Shannon Sharp, who's blocking. So really you got those guys and the stud offensive line as well. So quite a game. Immortals back in the win column, and that Walter Camp division with Throwbacks and Beowulf and Elite and Valhalla getting ever tighter. Next week, Dan, we'll be back with our Week 7 game of the week. This is going to be a fun one. Fan-centric frenzy versus the original. So Garrick Jones versus former first-round pick and Pro Bowler Walt Harris. You're not going to want to miss that one. That'll be a lot of fun too.
Can't wait for that one. Have we seen fan-centric so far in Game of the Week? I'm not.
We saw them on the very first week. They kicked it off, I believe, against the
I can't remember. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's so long ago. All my concussions.
Well, you know what? We're going to see him again, and it's the Game of the Week debut of the original. So that will do it. The Immortals defeat the Throwbacks. For Dan Esposito, for the IKS crew, I'm Andy McNamara. You've been watching the Game of the Week around the American Football Legends League.